Back. Welcome everybody to the Brad and Dad podcast. My name is not Brad.
This is I am Dad.
He is the dad. And we are here to talk about things. That's my new intro.
It's things.
Yeah.
We got fun stuff this week.
We got some fun stuff this week. We're talking about pop culture, news, movies, TV, video games, things like that.
We actually played vids together for the first time.
It was
a long time.
It's an interesting experience.
Good.
So we're here to talk about a few things, just as an overview. We're going to start off with our weekly spoiler discussion of whatever latest kind of stuff is coming out. Foreseeable future. I don't know if there's anything else that could dethrone it. Is there anything else that would even be able to replace the Disney Plus shows? Stranger Things? I don't know, but those can come out at once, so you gotta talk about them all.
What else are we gonna talk about? I don't know. Like they've kind of got it handled here.
Yeah.
But...
So
is that our spoiler warning?
Well, our spoiler warning. If you haven't seen episode 3 of Loki, we'll be talking about that. We'll be jumping into that in a second. Then we'll be talking about some news from the week, from the pop culture sphere. Some things coming out. Some things. What was that? Is it Owen Wilson?
Come on.
It's wow. That's a long clip.
That was, I know. It was.
What is that from? Which movie is that from?
It was a mix up of every time he said whoa, and then I threw one wow on the end.
One wow in there. Okay. I thought it was a contiguous. He was really, really trying to,
Yeah, he's whoa. Like that's our spoiler.
Whoa. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. So spoilers for that. You can skip ahead if you're not interested. I mean, watch it first. Definitely. It's best experience without spoilers. Then we'll be talking about some news, and then we got to try out not Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. That's different.
I keep trying to say that too.
Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance, which is not at all like the old games.
No.
We got to play it. We swapped off. New game, trying it out for like $1 on Xbox Game Pass.
That was good way to go.
We'll be talking about our experience with it. So first out of the gate, Owen Wilson spoilers. Notably, Owen Wilson wasn't in this episode.
No, he was
I
not.
didn't see him. I wasn't expecting that. The entire episode, I felt it was like a little bit of a hole. I was like, I wanted Mobius. I wanted to see what he was up to.
Yeah, I know. The episode. Okay, so full disclosure, our internet pooped out on us about half the way through. Not even. I did a quick scan as much as I could today over lunch hour just to try and.
You guys didn't finish the episode.
No, we didn't finish.
Oh,
not like kind of. I kind of did, but like the second half was just like scrubbing forward.
I see.
I got to sit down. I got to be in the mood, man. Like I got to have like the lights out. I want to sit down. I want to enter into it. Today I had to just I just got to get through it.
That's unfortunate.
So I know. Elon Musk, hurry up with Starlink, bro. Seriously, Elon, it's time.
I don't think he's watching. I don't think he's one of our 8 subscribers.
I'm tweeting this to him. But now, okay, so you got to take my review of this episode and any recap that I have with a little grain of salt, because I was only really into it for the first half.
Well, how far up did you get? What was the last scene that you guys watched contiguously? That's the second time I've used that word.
Contiguously, wow.
I don't know why that's still in my brain. It's a big one.
Would have been like Lamentus. What number was it? What was the planet of the apocalypse? Lamentus 1? Yeah. Right around there where they first warped in and they started getting bombed.
That's like not even halfway. That's like 10 minutes in.
No, it was more than that. But
it's like
much. Maybe
at most. That's not far in.
Yeah, then I got to watch some pieces ahead of that, but I'll be honest, maybe it was just because we didn't have the whole thing all at once. This was a different paced episode.
It was.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, well, you didn't.
I want action.
You missed. There was lots of that but you missed all of it because you saw the first 10 minutes. There was lots. It was good, but you're not wrong in that this did feel. It's hard to say it's filler. That feels really derogatory. Like, this is just a filler episode. It's just like it's not really.
You can't afford a filler episode when you got 6.
Yeah, but it's a character episode.
It is
it's
a character
meant to because it is. Yeah. It is. We have out of the gate. The variant Loki did not want our Loki following her through. That was my assumption, was like the door's being left open because she wants to work with him. Not the case. It was just by happenstance. She was going to screw up the TVA, like wanted to, I'm guessing, get to Judge Renslayer.
Right.
Or the Timekeepers. She wanted to take that elevator.
Yeah.
I guess, take that elevator to the Timekeepers. Because that was the info she was trying to get from that agent, that was a cool bit at the start, like the whole brain delving thing.
Yeah, creating that illusion for the agent and trying to be your friend. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
that was good.
But the idea is basically, like I think she was on the way to get the Timekeepers, and then Loki screwed that up, and they ended up on this planet, which was one of the apocalypses about to be crushed by a moon. Everyone's going to die.
Yeah.
I'll give you a basic overview of kind of the plot.
Tell me what happened.
Just because, like, I don't know, you scrubbed around, you saw bits and pieces, but the general gist, they needed to find a way to recharge that little device.
Yeah.
That she was using because it went low battery. And so they were like, well, shoot, this planet's going to get destroyed. We need to find a way to get a door out. So they have to work together because this device is, got to be charged. They are aware that there is like an arc, like a big kind of survivors ship that has enough power to potentially repower it. So their plan is to take a train to that arc and hop aboard, and it was going to get destroyed anyway. So drain the power source and charge up the pad and leave. Doesn't quite work out that way. They in broad strokes, they take the train ride. There's some chatting about character.
Yeah,
they sort of exchange, what was some of your life like? But it's all veiled and kind of like they're trying to get leverage on the other, and you're not sure.
Totally playing chess.
Yeah, exactly. But they're also like learning about each other, and there's some interesting hints about Sylvie's backstory because she calls herself Sylvie because she's it seems like it's like a code name. She just like has stopped calling herself Loki because it's too obvious. She's trying to stay hidden, and so it's an alias that she's just taken as her own, and she's kind of pivoted away from. She doesn't want to be called Loki. But before they get to the arc, they basically realize that they pivot plans because the device is fully broken because they screw up, and they're like, well, we can't repair it, we can't recharge it, so we're going to try and change the timeline and help this ship escape. Episode ends, they're trying to get to the arc, and it gets hit by a giant asteroid and blows up, and then we end on a cliffhanger.
So I got all that, almost all that.
Okay,
from the scrubbing. So that's good. I guess my question is, did this really advance the series? Like, I mean, we know a little more about Loki and Sylvie, a little more, not much more about Loki, but a little more about Sylvie, maybe some hints at what's to come. But I felt like, I don't know that this got us that much further with only 6 episodes, right?
No, it felt like it was definitely. I think that it was meant to be a framing device to get development with the characters and get them to know each other.
Yeah,
so that we can. The next 3 episodes will probably be pretty fast paced because there's a lot of stuff in the trailers that we haven't seen. That's like big deal stuff. Like the biggest thing I think plot wise from this was the reveal, and this was tied into the reason we had like scenes of just kind of being out for drinks. Like in those visions with the agent, and she was just like with her best friend grabbing drinks at the bar. The TVA is not populated by agents that are created by the Timekeepers. They believe that they're created by the Timekeepers, but Sylvie drops the bomb that they are all brainwashed variants.
Hmm.
And yeah, and they basically put their information together because she's like, yeah, they're all variants. They're all they've been brainwashed and their minds have been, kind of fragmented and messed with. And Loki's like, well, they don't know that. So I think that's probably meant to tie into the whole jet ski thing with Mobius,
Right.
big jet ski guy.
Yeah.
And the thing where like he was in the office and like, oh, what, you have other agents? And like, I don't remember grabbing this, or like all the different rings of like the drinks that he puts.
Right.
I think the implication is there's other Mobius variants that have been working for Renslayer.
Yeah.
But that's the biggest plot forward thing from this. I don't know. Yeah, I was surprised it ended where it did. I thought the idea that they create a new branch timeline by helping this arc escape would be a cool way of showing the TVA is no longer in control. Like, hey, no one showed up to prune this timeline. They're overloaded. They can't track it all. But we kind of just ended. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was cool to see Loki had some of his power back, or all of his power back, I guess, in that timeline. Including and I think it was another display of his cleverness to say, okay, well, if we can't get out of here, then how do we shift the timeline again? I did I read a couple of quick recaps just to catch up too, and it does sound like with Sylvie's backstory compared to what it was in the comic books, that they are altering that, but that also seems to play into the whole multiverse idea quite well too.
Yeah, she's like a combination of, there was like the Enchantress, who was named Sylvie but wasn't Loki, and then there's a Lady Loki, who like mind wipes the enchant. I don't know. They're like very similar kind of characters, I think, in broad strokes, or at least visually.
Right.
And that's what the MCU does. They just like simplify and combine things. So I think she's the few bits we got from her character were that she was told she was adopted very young.
Yeah.
So whereas Loki was told like in the first Thor movie and got really upset about it, rightfully so, because it was kept from him. Sylvie was clearly told young and like adjusted to it, but didn't know her mother.
Right.
Didn't know Frigga. So it starts to paint a bit of a picture of like how she ended up where she did.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's enough to go off of there to fully, form the picture, but I don't know, like that, like she's self-taught magic.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that really means.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's going to persist as a villain.
Is she villain though?
I don't know. I guess hard to say in this one.
Loki is, I guess, a villain. They're clearly, there's no compunctions.
Antihero?
Antihero. I think antihero is fair.
Maybe better than villain.
Or maybe
more
I don't
accurate?
know. Like within the context of this show, I guess you'd want to more use like protagonist and antagonist, because those are just, there's no moral framework on those. It's just who the story's about and who's opposing them. So like,
yeah, that's boring.
I just mean I don't know that she is an antagonist anymore. I feel like the timekeepers are the antagonists.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, and what's all going on behind the scenes, right? Like who's behind all this and create it's Mephisto.
It's Mephisto. I think when Reed Richards shows up in the next episode, I think that's really going to blow the doors off.
Yeah, he didn't show up before, so he's bound to this time.
It's probably just going to be an engineer. Still waiting on the engineer reveal. I did want to say, just Judge Renslayer, when the show started, I was like, oh, she'll probably be like a Mobius aligned like authority character. I didn't think she would be like a bad guy. I am very suspicious at this point. Well, the fact that she is like, I'm the only one who's talked to the timekeepers. You guys are all
kind of a gatekeeper.
Their creations. Yeah. I know they know what they're doing. They've told me they know what they're doing. she probably knows the whole deal with the variants. I think she
Mhm.
is like the
Sure,
only other
absolutely.
person in on the lie. And
Yeah, that
I
makes
think
sense.
Mobius might. Do you think he'll turn? Do you think he'll like join
No,
Loki? No.
they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't
Like
do that to Owen.
no. I mean, do you think that Mobius will turn to the side of like Loki, like turn against the TVA?
Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they might. Yeah, that might work.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Wow, timekeepers for a lie. I'm just a variant. I'm just a guy who loves jet skis. Wow. Um,
Yeah, I
that's
gave
him.
myself.
That's him discovering.
Whoa! I gave myself
Whoa!
too many buttons. I shouldn't have done this. I got sound
Wait,
effects now on my
is it
screen.
one button or is it several buttons and each of
That's
them you're
one
just
button.
pressing them all back to
No,
back?
I
That's
one
just the
button,
one.
and Owen Wilson spams "wow" all
That's
over
good.
the
You
screen.
macro the wows. You're not gonna just use. It's like Pringles. You can't just do one.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like this is a little bit like, okay. Well, next week we'll have a better.
It's
I mean,
well,
like,
it doesn't help that you didn't watch the whole episode,
well,
so
I
there's even
know.
less to
I
talk
can't
about.
guarantee next week I'm going to have internet, but
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
hey, welcome to our show. Where we kind
One
of
other
recap.
thing, yeah, one other thing I did want to mention that was an interesting milestone for Marvel. I thought it was great. Was Loki's canon bisexual?
Right.
They dropped that kind of in the middle, and that's not something that I was necessarily expecting them to do. But
Right.
it was kind of a fun little like, it's probably the same with you, and you know the whole
Yeah, it's super quick, but they immortalized it.
and it's very and it's like I mean Norse mythology. You look at it, it's like yeah, it's
Right.
all kinds of stuff. Like it's one of those things that you would have expected them, and I have danced around it for a while. But it's one of those things that it's like, come on, like at some point you gotta do this. It's more than any other character. It's definitely like something that's pretty intrinsic to someone who's all about chaos and mischief and just kind of
misdirection and shifting
and that's also that whole conversation is something that I would recommend you go and find and watch because it's more so I love that they integrated it and wove it in, but it's also just about the way they perceive like love,
right?
And like what is love? The idea like he comes up with the end result of like love is a dagger. That it's like something that is like, you can use it up closer from far away. You see yourself in it. Well, he has this whole like thing that it's a cool reflection of how he thinks of like it doesn't, again, just like the character, he's manipulative, he's cunning, he's always playing an angle, but he's also genuine. Like it doesn't undermine the actual emotions underneath. Like he can share a part of himself and genuinely like be vulnerable to a person. Like he reveals stuff about his mother to Sylvie, but he's also trying to mine information from her, and I love that balance where the character is not callous and using that against people like, ooh, I'm going to tell you a backstory that's going to make you sad and then I'm going to turn it on you. It is sad, he is sad, right, but he's still canny enough to use it, and so it makes a really cool three-dimensional character, and it's very, very fun. I hope we get more Lokis. How many more Lokis do you think we'll see? Like variants
of Tom Hiddleston's Loki?
Well, not necessarily
or
Tom
just like
Hiddleston,
Loki's
but
all
like
over the place.
Like Sylvie, are we going to see more versions of
I don't
Loki?
know. My theory is like he's variant L1130. My theory is that there's 1129s before him.
Makes sense. I would agree.
So maybe, I don't know. I'm still waiting to see the Matt Damon Loki variant again.
that would be fun if they just get a scene in like episode 5 or whatever where it's just a dozen Lokis in a room. It's like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other.
Loki into the Lokiverse.
Yeah, into the Lokiverse. That's what this show is, really. Cool.
Fantastic.
Anyway, sweet.
Right.
That's the recap.
Let's hit some news.
What do you got?
Well, I don't know. It seems like all I talk about these days, but Snake Eyes origin story. They dropped a new trailer this yesterday.
They did.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday already?
I think it was. I don't know, man. It might have been the day before. But anyway, around June 23rd, 24th. And okay, so I'm in for it. Like, it's great. It was awesome. Storm Shadow shows up in it. Snake Eyes shows up in it. But it is super clear that they are not playing at all with the origin story of the original like 80s comics.
Yeah.
The closest they get to it is Storm Shadow invites Snake Eyes into the Arashikage clan to become one of them. That's about the only identification between the original origin story. In the original Snake Eyes origin story, there was 3 guys who fought together in Vietnam. It was Stalker, Tommy, who is Storm Shadow, and Snake Eyes. And even in Vietnam already, Snake Eyes was only ever known as Snake Eyes. Nobody knew anything about him.
Really?
Yeah, that's right. And then the 3 of them, it was a hot extract. They were getting out on a helicopter. Snake Eyes got shot. Stalker says, "Don't worry about it. He's done. He's dead." Storm Shadow goes back for Snake Eyes and pulls him out of the hot zone, and they escape, but he's wounded and permanently disfigured. Part of it kind of comes from that origin. That's like way back in I think it's issue 57, if I remember seeing it right. And then eventually down the line, they get back to the mainland, and Snake Eyes learns that his whole family's been killed in a car accident, and that's when Storm Shadow invites him to come train with the Arashikage clan. Now in the trailer, it sounds like Snake Eyes saves Storm Shadow's life, and Storm Shadow, as kind of a gratitude, invites him to join the ninja clan. So anyway, it's got some departures, but it also has him closing his visor up, and it goes. And I'm like, whoa, cool. I never thought about it that way, but that was sweet. Yeah. And the fight scenes look fantastic.
It doesn't pop up like a motorcycle helmet. It's
no, I was thinking like a knight, you know?
Yeah.
But no, this is like Iron Man style. So anyway, it looks great, but they're kind of rewriting some of the, you know what though, they've done that the whole time. Like even the Devil's Due comics took a few changes. Even as G.I. Joe progressed in time, like they were like, well, Vietnam War vets are now 67 or something like that, right? So they now, many of the guys fought in like Desert Storm or even Afghanistan now. Yeah. Even Afghanistan, 2001, that was 20 years ago.
That's a while ago. Yeah.
And so so anyway, it's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So
it looks cool.
Yeah, let's go.
I didn't know that he was actually an adult I thought they were children that they trained together. So maybe I'm thinking of a different origin they redid, or maybe I'm thinking of the Ninja Turtles. I don't know, but no, I think it looks cool. I think the thing that stuck out to me was, first of all, the Cobra presence. So this is something I mentioned when like the toy reveals were happening. I wouldn't have expected there to be a whole Cobra plot line with like Baroness and Scarlet, and that seems to be it. If I were to guess, I would imagine they're probably gonna, and this, I don't know, I don't think this is the way the comics go. My guess is the Arashikage clan is a Cobra training ground, basically. Right. And so they're going to do a whole thing where Snake Eyes gets his training in his suit, and he's like, wow, this is really cool. And then Storm Shadow's going to be like, hey, now we reveal the true nature of this training. Yeah. Become a member of Cobra, but he's got a romance with Scarlet, and he's had all these fights, on the side with these people that the Cobra people didn't know about. And then he'll be like, I won't join you. And he's like, but you're my brother. And so I think that's going to.
Yeah, no, that could be. Like there was always that, like they're brothers, but then Storm Shadow was on the other side trying to find the killer of his uncle. And then he changes to the Joes and he flips back to Cobra. And even at one point, I didn't read all of the Devil's Due comics when they came out, but Snake Eyes worked with Cobra Commander. Apparently Cobra Commander had an alcohol problem, and Snake Eyes was working with him too to plot line. And so
working with him just in a therapist capacity. He doesn't talk. I don't know if that's
a client.
He's like, listen, man, you got this is an intervention. I'm gonna read this letter to you.
It's kind of like the MCU where you have so many different versions and different series and episodes and blah blah blah. Like they had all the movies prior to this, and so I don't know what they're going to define as canon. As far as I'm concerned, the 80s Marvel comics are canon, and that's all will ever be. But they're obviously going to have to patchwork some things together. So hopefully it comes together into a coherent story. Yeah. My prediction is that at the very end of this Snake Eyes origin film, we're going to see Snake Eyes receive his the wounds or whatever happens to disfigure his face and take his voice.
Do you want an upsetting prediction?
Yeah.
That scene with him closing the visor is the last scene of the movie.
The last scene?
Like driving off on the motorcycle?
Right. That could be that.
And then it's like directed by because that's happened in trailers before. I don't think it is, because I'm pretty sure we've seen, I think there's fight scenes in there where he has the suit on.
Yes, he does.
But I mean, they did that in Venom. They did that in one of the Spider-Man movies where it was like whoa, what will that fight scene look like? You don't get to see it.
I'm really curious how they're going to handle the whole unmasking thing, because that was so big in the comics in the 80s. Was you never knew what Snake Eyes looked underneath it, and people lost their lunch. The few people that got to see it, it was so disfigured and so grotesque, that they were physically ill. And clearly, either that doesn't happen according to this movie, or it is before any of that happens.
I think.
So I'm super curious.
Yeah, I think realistically, I don't think they will. Because they want to have a leading man who doesn't wear the mask, and they can put that face up on the poster, which is something that Marvel's done as well. But
that's raw.
They could go the Deadpool route, because I think I had mentioned this before. Is Ryan Reynolds is a good-looking dude. He's photogenic. It doesn't seem like a good idea to put him in gross, makeup. Right. But I think if this does well, maybe they do like a sequel, and then they're like, "Wow, what happened to you?" Like if they do a G.I. Joe movie. He never takes it off, and it's like, oh, he's disfigured, and like, what happened to him in between? You don't know.
I kind of think it was such a linchpin in the whole comics. I think they're going to deal with it in this film.
Interesting.
So we'll see.
It'll be cool.
Yeah. They're going to do the old Harvey Dent Two-Face trick,
Yeah, or maybe they'll just do like one of those things where it's like he's horribly disfigured, but he's got just like a sexy scar across his face, and it's like, oh no, Henry Golding, no, you're so terrible and disfigured, and it's just like
I really like the scar.
Yeah, it's like I think they did. I remember there was a Frankenstein movie years and years ago that was like, he's horrible and disfigured. And it's just a handsome looking, it was like Aaron Eckhart or something. And he had like a bit of a scar. It was like prosthetics. And it was like, oh, he's such a monster. And it's like, he's pretty much just
looks so bad,
good looking Hollywood actor. With
better than I do in the morning.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Dwayne Johnson is Deadpool. And it's like, oh no, he's got one lens of his eye is slightly off. Anyway. Yeah. Looks good. Fight scenes look excellent.
Yeah, they do. I love ninjas,
so should be cool. Yeah,
all the Matrix style effects and bullet cams and stuff. So
everything to do with Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow was the best stuff in the original, those old G.I. Joe live action movies. So this is just an extension of that.
Should be good.
Second one. Yeah, I mean, I had a couple things that were shorter. Or did you have a second one? Sorry.
No, go ahead. That was it for me.
Yeah, that was it for you. Today. Yeah. So first of all, and this is. It's just the last couple of days I saw this. Transformers 7 is happening.
Yeah.
I thought that was seriously dead in the water. It's not Michael Bay anymore, which is good, I think.
Yeah.
And it is Transformers, Rise of the Beasts?
Rise of the Beasts.
And it's an adaptation of the Beast Wars
it's super interesting
series, which is like the weirdest one.
Yeah.
It had Optimus Primal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Megatron. He was a dragon. Megalodonatron? I don't remember.
I tapped out after Dinobots.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, well, because the thing about Beast Wars, I remember most distinctly, it had the really janky 3D animated series where it was like
I remember
really early 3D animation. And like for its time, sure, like, doing that kind of thing, very impressive, but like it is not aged well at all. And it looks real janky.
Yeah.
I maybe it's not even in the same. I guess it's called like they're saying Transformers 7, so it's probably in the same series. But I don't even know where they ended up. I didn't watch the last few.
I haven't. I watched number 2, I think, and that was it. So I did. Like you said, 7. I was like, come on.
I think we watched 3
or what?
We watched.
I might have seen 3.
We watched 3, I think.
Yeah.
But they're also like interchangeable. I know that like 4 had the Dinobots.
Did it really?
I guess they must be counting Bumblebee because like 4 had the Dinobots.
Right. Yeah.
5 Optimus Prime had a sword and he was evil, and Anthony Hopkins was a knight of the Round Table. It was like Arthurian legend. They were like,
really?
Only a robot can wield Excalibur, and it was Optimus Prime. It was absolutely insane. And then they had like a Unicron tease, which was the only thing I was like intrigued because I love Unicron.
Yeah.
And then they did Bumblebee, which was a prequel. And
right.
I think that was 6. So this would be 7.
Wow. All right, in the words of Owen Wilson. Wow.
Beast Wars. It's crazy. You're doing Beast Wars.
Wow. Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thunk it? It's insane. You're doing Beast Wars.
You've milked this to death.
There's seven Transformers movies. So that one looks interesting. The logo looks cool. It's the classic Autobots logo in the middle. I was like, okay, someone's maybe taking it to a bit more, maybe a little more classic designs. I don't know. Like, how does that's gonna look weird in live action? Because it's like realistic, like animal hide that then like
because didn't the toys have fur on them? Like
they have like fur, like it's gonna look. I didn't think about it until now. I'm like, that's gonna look really gross.
It's weird, man. Part of it's they're gonna be like, these metallic robots and then Shrek hair animation.
Because
like,
it's kind of, you're not gonna do Beast Wars and not make them look like realistic animals.
Donkey fur.
It's gonna be like did you watch Annihilation? Did you ever watch that movie?
No.
There's a scene with like a horrible mutated bear that has like a bunch of people's like it's got like a skull in the side of its face, and it's this horrific speaks in the voice of its victim's bear. It's horrifying. It's gonna be like that's Optimus Primal. It's gonna be like this horrifying like beast machine that like its skull like split. It's gonna be like Dead Space. It's gonna be horrifying.
Crazy.
Anyway, that should be interesting. Very intrigued. The final thing was I wanted to bring up because it's been filming for a couple weeks now. They are finally filming the Flash movie. It was like canceled and rewritten and rebooted like 4 times. It was supposed to come out like 4 years ago, but it kept getting delayed and moved around. It's finally filming. And it stars Ezra Miller, who played the Flash in Justice League and you know the Zack Snyder stuff. It also stars Michael Keaton.
Really?
As Bruce Wayne.
Oh, come on.
And Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne.
Oh, come on.
And it's got Supergirl. And it's got I think a few other characters. It's a time travel multiverse movie. But they're bringing back in a big way.
Makes my heart hurt.
Did you watch the Michael Keaton Batman movies? I've never seen them. Are they good?
No. Nothing DC does is good.
It's a chance to redeem him. He wasn't the one with bat nipples, right? That was
He's
George
90
Clooney.
though.
Is he really? No, he's not.
I don't know how old he is, but he was, I don't know. That was
not
a while
young.
ago. That's my point. It was a while ago, like 27 years ago.
I'm shocked that he would want to come back. If he did a couple mediocre, I mean, it's Batman and it's money.
It was okay. Yeah, no, you know what? Like when
he's 69 years old, so he's getting on in years. It's not
good. He's 90. So when when Dark Knight came out,
I'll throw that line back at you when you're.
Yeah, no, don't do that. When Dark Knight came out, it totally eclipsed anything that had ever been Batman, Joker, Danny DeVito, Arnold Schwarzenegger's Mr. Freeze. Like all of that was gone because it had been saved by the Dark Knight. And now they're going to bring him back. And not only that, they're going to bring back Batfleck too. And Michael Keaton as Bruce. How do they do this?
So, my guess is that Ben Affleck will be at the beginning of the movie, right? When they're in his timeline, he'll be like, "Oh, I'm Batman, the Flash," and then the Flash is going to time travel, and then he's going to be like, hey, Bruce Wayne, I need your help," and then Michael Keaton's going to turn around and be like, "I'm Bruce Wayne," and he'll be like, "Whoa, what?"
Oh,
that's the dialogue. I actually read now. But I don't know.
Can we shoot this horse? It
could be. I love the Flash. I love time travel stuff.
Okay, I could do with the Flash, but
it's
Michael Keaton.
I don't know how much emphasis he'll get. That's the thing that really it'll hinge on. Like, is it a cameo? Is it like he's a supporting character?
Yeah,
it's still the Flash movie. Like if it's just Michael Keaton's Batman 3 starring also Ezra Miller as the Flash, be janky, but I don't think it will be. I think it'll be him time travel, and I wonder if maybe we'll see him just hopping between several timelines.
Yeah,
and that's just like one of a montage, and it's like, hey, look at this one. Hey, look, like maybe they'll bring in the TV Flash as well, and be like, hey, look, because they already met each other in one of the TV shows. They had a cameo scene where they met in the Time Force or whatever. They were like, wow, you're the Flash, I'm the Flash. And it was like movies and TV. I'm excited. I'm intrigued. It's a big swing for the fences. Maybe it'll be a swing and a miss. but at least they're trying something bonkers. You know what I mean? At least it's
right.
not. At least it's not like, what if we did? You know, I mean, Captain America did well, and it was like a period piece. What if we? I mean, I don't want to. I haven't actually seen Wonder Woman, so I don't want to like throw it under the bus. But like, it is a period piece film about a historical superhuman character who inspire and who ends up like. Well, I guess technically it's Steve Trevor that is like crashes a plane and not Captain America. Anyway, there's some similarities. Maybe they're intentional, maybe they're not. But then replicating the MCU.
It'll make money.
Actually, you know what? This is still replicating the MCU because Loki is doing all this.
They can't get away from it. They're just chasing Big Brother. That's what they're doing. They're just trying to chase the number one son and failing, and then feeling inadequate.
We'll probably we have Spider-Man 3 in December, and that's supposed to have like Sam Raimi Spider-Man and stuff. So even without Loki in the running, that comes out before this. So they'll still be ripping off the MCU.
It literally feels like like they've got spies in the MCU camp, and they're like, okay, they're doing this. We got to do this too. And they're just constantly 2 steps behind.
That's why they kept rewriting the Flash script. Is like they're like, dang it, they got their one first.
So frustrating.
They already had Quicksilver. Oh shoot! Not that they did anything interesting with Quicksilver. Ralph Boner.
All right, hey, let's get to our table talk for the week.
Let's do it.
Rather than picking a question this week,
we have an answer.
We went straight to playing some games.
We have the answer to the question: is Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance a good game?
I titled this segment "Dark Alliance and Donairs" because that's
Dark
what we
Alliance
had for lunch.
and Donairs. Heck yeah, it was a good time.
I ordered in Skip and played some Dark Alliance.
What did you think of it overall? This is it's like a hack and slash. You play as Drizzt. You play as.
You know what? Like, I hadn't read a ton on it. Like, I didn't really. It was like this is as quick, I think, as we've ever played a new release. Like, at least together, you know. And so, you've played quicker. You're always on it, right? Like, but I'm usually days and days behind.
Sure. Yeah.
To have a chance to do it like the day it's released was super fun. So I didn't read a ton about it. Went in with pretty open mind. Read the whole Icewind Dale trilogy, the Drizzt novels. I've followed Drizzt, for a long time and really love the whole setting. Forgotten Realms fan. That's where I kind of cut my teeth in D&D. Sure. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, let's go. And the intro video was awesome. Yeah. It was so fun to see the characters come out and the whole plot, with the crystal shard and everything else. And then it got into it. I wasn't sure. I didn't know that it was just the 4 from the original Icewind Dale clan. So we've got clan. I shouldn't use that because that's got other meanings up in that part of the world. But so we had Drizzt, we had Wolfgar the Barbarian, we had Brunar Battlehammer the Dwarf, and Canterbury, who plays Ranger. I don't remember if she was actually a Ranger in the stories. Or she's a fighter, isn't she?
They say she's a fighter in here, but she just like fighters can use bows.
Yeah, that's right.
In 5th edition, a fighter with a bow is a better ranger than a ranger.
So something's broken.
Something's a little busted.
But man, the animation looked fantastic. The cutscenes looked good. The gameplay, like we ran into a couple of bugs along the way, but
it's a little janky.
And it was a little weird. Falling off a cliff was really weird.
It's just like Pac-Man.
Like it never happened. It's like you time jumped. It was like But you know what? I loved the character interface, the character sheet, the skill trees look fun. The animations of all the characters' special moves and stuff. Yeah. We played Wolfgar first.
He was great. I enjoyed Wolfgar almost more than Drizzt.
You liked him more than Drizzt?
I love barbarians. I love tanks, and just like you hit someone and they just go flying.
Oh yeah, like immediately. And the
ragdoll physics is great.
Yeah, the controller vibration when you do criticals and the animations when you smoke guys, like it's super fun. Yeah. I think I liked Drizzt a little more, but he was just so fast. Like his attacks were so quick. And the special abilities, I don't know, top to bottom, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to split screen multiplayer so that we can tackle this one.
That'll be a big that'll be fun. Yeah, actually, by the time a lot of the things I've seen people complain about are pretty fixable issues. You have things like Cyberpunk, where it's just from a top down, it's just a mess, broken. And you're like, you can't salvage this.
Start over.
This game feels like there's a vision there that you're like, I see what you're going for.
Yeah.
There's just a few things you need to tweak. We bashed our heads against a boss fight at the end for probably an hour. Man. Load times were pretty brutal. Like coming back from a
couple times
took like a few minutes, and that was a pain because you want to just hit your head against that wall and try again right away.
Yeah,
we probably would have beaten that boss if we had been able to. Like often the loading time was longer than our time fighting because we just get killed.
At least longer than my time fighting.
Yeah, as soon as you boosted the difficulty up a little bit, the damage that you took just felt way disproportionate to like the difficulty. Oh, hi, Birdie. Yeah. It didn't feel so much like extra difficulty as like just extra damage. And so you just get killed faster.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You were maybe getting a little more frustrated than I was with it. I felt I thought we were going to see a rage quit for a second there. The last got smoked. But I felt like it was a tough enough boss that we were getting a little further each time and trying to figure out some new strategies.
Yeah.
And it wasn't terrible. I had to go, so we ran out of time to actually finish the boss. But I think we were getting close.
We could have done it. No, we could have. I just think
we would have done
it. I think the things that made it didn't feel entirely fair. I think, and for the reasons that the damage was really high. You could
some
get
of those hits.
You could get stun locked, so like you get knocked down by one hit. That doesn't do a lot of damage, but your character spends 8 seconds getting back up. And then the enemy can kind of just wail on you that whole time. That felt unfair because it's I just get whacked by one attack and then I'm opened up to a billion more, and I have no ability to counter that. I can't block, I can't do anything. It just felt very punishing. But and then the other thing is just some of the camera angles and the way the attacks, like you'll end up attacking the wrong direction, and your guy's just like swiping at air. It didn't feel
and then
like
you get into some combo animations and
you're like, I gotta run away, and then your guys just
trying to run and
gotta finish the animation.
But those are all just coding issues. Like those things could be easily patched, right?
So. I agree. So like I think that I had a great time with it. We played 2-3 missions.
Yep.
Enemies weren't too complex, but it felt great to punch them.
Yep. Yeah, it was very gratifying. Some of the hits were super fun.
I would love to play it in multiplayer instead of tag teaming, because like I think that, and I've heard that from people, is like even that fight would be way more manageable with multiplayer, because you could just like different. Hey, you aggro the spellcaster while I just wail on the
because it's literally 2-on-1 plus any of the minions that he manages to summon
automatically, and then if one person goes down, the other guy can revive him instead of you just getting reloaded.
No, it might be a game breaker there. So
that probably makes the single player experience much less entertaining. Like it's built for more than one person.
Yeah, but I kind of like the character like equipment interface and the way that they're handling loot and
the loot seemed great.
Yeah, rare items and epic items and stuff like that. And then you can customize the look of all of those too by reskinning them, and you pay a little bit for that. But you could literally, like, you could have your own version of Wolfgar or Drizzt that looks completely different, even with the same items. So there's a feeling of, okay, this is Drizzt, but it's my Drizzt.
Yeah, and that was something I mentioned to you as well. It's just
well, keep it up. What's it?
Yeah, sorry. You can tell I'm tired because I just drank my coffee. No, I think the thing that impressed me is that if you're going to have named like canon classic characters, there's a lot of games that won't let you customize because it's the main character.
That bites.
I like that this game just goes whole hog. It's like, no, customize them, go for it. Like there's like the starting equipment is their classic looks.
Yeah. And
then as you level them up, you can personalize. And I think that's just I had a great time, especially for $1 with Xbox Game Pass, right?
Yeah. Like, no, that was a great way.
$1 promotion. It's like a $60 game or whatever to start.
Yeah.
So that's maybe a bit bigger of an asking price, but hey, in 6 months when it's patched and there's like free updates and split screen and it's like a better game, it'll be on sale for like $8 or whatever.
Yeah, that's
an easy purchase.
Yeah, no, I'd follow it. I regret I don't have any hardware that can run it at the moment, so I'll be coming over to your place to play it any
Absolutely.
further. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was worth it. And the promo leading up to it, I feel like it was all yeah, it was all on point. They've got a good game there.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt like the developers, like I read some interviews where they were kind of very, very eager, very,
Yeah.
very like passionate, just
Yeah.
maybe not the most like organized. Like it felt like they were kind of like, we're just winging it. You know, we're doing what we think is cool. And it's like, I respect it. I can totally see how these like things have fallen through the cracks and things didn't get addressed.
Sure.
But I don't think that it is the same. Like it's not getting good reviews. It's kind of getting like trash right now. I don't think it's the same deceptive, like
No.
manipulation that like again Cyberpunk or something of that
really,
kind of had.
yeah.
Like they knew the turd they had and they were just polishing it. They were really, you know, tying a bow on that turd and trying to sell it to people like gold.
Lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this one, if you are watching this for Dungeons and Dragons related game reviews, one of our big niches now, I would recommend waiting a couple months. They're going to do some free updates. They've said there's going to be like DLC, new levels, they're going to do local split screen. And then of course, I think on Twitter, they had, you know, kind of, it's not surprising, but they had said like, we're dedicated to fixing bugs and making this a great experience. Like we're really listening. In 2 months, I bet you this game will have videos on YouTube that are like, you know which game has done a real turnaround? It's a real underrated gem. Right. You know, it used to be, but they've really put the work in, and they've really like. I beg you to reconsider on Dark Alliance. It's like, I know.
Yeah, hopefully that's you know, the initial problems, which are like you said, super fixable, don't impede the progress of the game and the developers too much. You know, like, that they get at least a shot to correct it, and there'll be a bump in sales. I do think if you're a fan of especially Icewind Dale and you know, the Savage Frontier and that kind of thing, if you're a fan of that lore and you like Drizzt and stuff like that, I think they got it. I think they did a good job.
The design of the world is awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah. And I've been running a campaign in Icewind Dale, so it's really fun to see them reference names and locations and to show names and locations of places that I've run in and be like, hey, look, this is what
that's cool.
Kelvin's Cairn looks like. And I'm like, I know what that is. And they'll be like, hey, this is Bryn Shander. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. I did.
Yeah, it's fun.
So it's that fun little cross section where I'm looking at it through the eyes of like someone who read a book and is seeing the adaptation on screen.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, that's what that looks like. And it's great for inspiration.
Great.
And so there's a visual level there, and it's just enough fun in the gameplay and just enough, you know, punchiness and, you know, whatever. I had a good time with it. I was not at all upset. But for like hours and hours of gaming, this is a couple months down the line, it'll probably be much easier to sink hours into. So
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Good.
Cool. That's
that's a wrap.
That's the one. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to follow us here on YouTube. Hit the notification bell to get notified whenever we upload. We're on Twitter. You can go to bradndad.com.
bradndad.com.
That just comes back to YouTube, so that's not a separate thing, right? Okay, yeah. So you can, if you want to, you just like subscribe from here, or you can type something else into your search bar and give yourself a bit more work. But yeah, we're on Twitter, we're on Facebook. You can follow us there and let us know what you think of Icewind Dale. No, not Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance. Side note, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, which is a 2001 isometric hack and slash that I love. Go buy that now. Do it now. It's a split screen co-op hack and slash romp of a time with one brain cell, and I love it. So it's actually a really good distillation of it. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week for Loki episode 4, and who knows, some other things probably.
It's good. All right, thanks, buddy.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, everyone.